high-frequency channel where source and spirit meet in tandem, where forces between the mind, body, and spirit meet in friendship, while building a unity of energy and creation, fluidity in consciousness, where we let our spirits speak.
All right, folks. Good afternoon. We're here on April 10th, and I'm here with an amazing, gifted friend, healer, and coach, Hazel Redwood. So, just to kind of put this out there, to those that are into astrology and into what's going on in the cosmos, we have the etheric forecast right now. The solar flares, the M-class solar flares, are at 1%, which is extremely low. And so is the C-class solar flares. They're only at 20%. Currently, the planetary alignments, we have Uranus and Taurus, Mercury, Eris, Chiron, and Sol in Aries, Neptune, Jupiter, and Venus in Pisces, Mars and Saturn in Aquarius, and Pluto in Capricorn. Now, for the Schumann resonance, we've had some spikes this morning around 9:30 in the AM. They were close to about, we'll say, between 48 and 70, and then it calmed down during the rest of the day. So you guys don't want to have to worry about any of the crazy feelings and ultra empathic intuitions that you may not get from anywhere else, aside from your higher self, of course. Yeah, you can relax for the rest of the day. So it's recommended to meditate, ground, cleanse, clear, and consecrate your home. All right, so let's get started. So now, wow, guys, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of shit going on. So, Hazel, introduce yourself. Let people know a little bit about you, and say a little bit about your story too. We want to hear a little bit about it. We want to know a little bit about you.
Okay. So my name's Hazel. That is my pagan name, and I started my path around 12. I've been doing readings since that age and started recently doing them for paid readings in the past 6 years, and I'm slowly growing my own clientele.
Awesome. So, I mean, have you had any weird mishaps, during this past new moon?
Not really too many. I did a lot of workings for myself and for those around me that needed it.
Meaning,
Spiritual work. So between helping people with tarot readings, life coaching, doing spell work for them and myself, just trying to bring everybody up a bit.
okay. So, if anyone was to ask you, what would be your favorite spiritual thing to do during the day, what would that be?
Cleaning.
Really?
Yes, I do my cleaning when I wake up. I start with doing dishes because it brings like a fresher scent to the home, and I enjoy it. And then I put on a simmer pot for the day.
So you're talking like the cleanliness and the cleaning of the home is like a meditation within itself.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And after you're done, you feel grounded, you feel centered, and that dark essence or dark matter or any negativity is washed clean, and
Yep. And
the
it goes from there.
vibe becomes a much more positive experience.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So today, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about a few things. We're going to go over just briefly. We're going to go over the the 11 virtues to a better life, and these these I would call them guidelines, not necessarily a truth, because again, Matthew McConaughey said it best. What's up, bro? That you cannot own a truth, but it is guidance, universal laws, paradigms, things like that, in order for us to just live a better lifestyle. Um, I would suggest any experiences that Hazel that you might have with
Absolutely.
with any of these. You may want to, just chime in whenever you feel comfortable.
Okay.
So the first, as I said, going to give a little explanation of why each one is important, and then we'll just go with the flow. All right. So number one is know that the universe is always there to teach you how to connect with your higher self and purpose. So what does that really mean to myself? Well, me personally, it means that the universe has always got your back. Okay, that it's not necessarily there to throw a monkey wrench, in every aspect of your life and try to mess stuff up. But it is there for you to harness its true power for the good of all, good of the collective, as well as to show you how to live your life purposefully and keep walking on that path of living your soul's mission, upon this big blue rock. So, well, what do you feel about this number one here, Hazel?
So the universe has always proven to be there when I need it the most. Recently I had a spinal fusion and I'm still waiting on disability 3 months later. So when I'm sitting here worrying about how am I going to pay my bills, I have to stop myself because I know that the universe will provide whatever I need.
Absolutely.
Like you said, it definitely has our back when we need it the most. But the matter of that is believing in it, understanding it, and not getting yourself into a panic mode.
Okay. And that goes hand in hand with the number two virtue. Yes. Okay. Which is it's important to remember that worrying is only going to create more chaos than when it started.
You have reminded me of that so many times, and you always pick up as my life coach. You always pick up when I'm in that mindset.
Right,
I
right.
don't even have to talk to you.
So what do we mean by that? Okay, there is a quote where it came from, probably the universe. But it says worry creates more worry and want creates more want. So what does that mean? So ultimately, when you get into the vibrational frequency of worrying, now worry, anger, hatred, loathing, rage, as well
Jealousy.
depression, sadness, all these things are what they call lower base vibrational living. Okay. So if you're worrying about something and you're as we all know as sentient beings, working and rolling on the path of and the journey of light and enlightenment and reaching our best version, we know that if we sit and swim or simmer, marry, if you will, just like food, in the energy of being concerned about something so much that we put more energy into being concerned about that one thing, that as we all know, the energy and the time that you put more, even ever more so into something, it grows.
Mm-hmm.
Grows, it amplifies, it magnifies. So if you're constantly worrying, the universe is going to give you the opportunities to worry even more.
Like attracts like.
Okay. Just like a slingshot, just like even especially Hazel, you said something earlier, said something about bills, which is one of the biggest things that we do when we're adulting.
Yep.
Okay, is always making sure the bills are paid on time and in full the way they should. And more times than most, the universe is there to show you that there is no reason to worry or be concerned because chaos will ensue. That means it'll just become like this cyclone of too much, of overwhelmingness, these types of things that we experience. Okay,
Absolutely.
so number three, I love this one. In the times of great challenges, know that the answers only show up when you are centered and calm. Now, what the
If
heck does
you
that? I mean, what's that mean? What is that? What's your take on that, Hayden? What do you feel about that?
So being centered and calm allows you to think clearly. This goes into like meditations, this goes into affirmations and stuff. But when you're able to center yourself, when you're able to feel like this little ball of energy in your belly, it gives you that moment to be able to enhance everything around you. And the answers will come in those moments right before sleep. They will come right before you wake up, and they will come when you're meditating. And that's in that calmness energy.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, when you first wake up, I mean, God, divine and higher power forbid, you end up stubbing your toe. Something so simple as that. And then and you just get that aggravated like, why, what, is this day going to be like this all day? And then obviously you go into the
That
day,
negative mindset.
into that mindset, in that level of thinking. And what happens with that is, again, if you consistently focus on it too much, it becomes bigger and bigger. And then there's more challenges during the day, more problems, more drama. Okay. And at times, we all need to know this. At times,
Mm-hmm.
it's us creating all those circumstances and situations. Okay. So we have control. We do. Within reason, we have control.
Absolutely.
Now, number 4 is take time out. Now, this is something that you guys look, when you want to talk about me time, here's the virtue for you. Take time out for yourself every week so you can decompress and recharge lost energy that you gave out. Okay. So during the week, guys, Monday through Friday or whatever your schedules are, you know how it feels. Okay, when you give too much of yourself, you give too much of your life force, you give too much of your time, to other people. You may be a lending ear, shoulder to cry on, energetic punching bag, ventilator, whatever you want to, however you want to, cut it or slice it. But you have to know that when you start feeling like that, you have to decompress.
Yes.
Okay, you have to begin. Don't let yourself get exhausted. Don't. And I know there's people that say, "Oh, well, I got kids, I got a husband, I got a house, blah 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 blah." That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, what I'm talking about is being ultra aware of what's going on within you, knowing that feeling, understanding what that feeling is, and being able to, without external influence, being able to set time aside 15, 30, 60 minutes for yourself, nice warm bath, you got your bath salts, what have you, essential oils. You could do meditation with stones, you can use incense, Palo Santo wood, sage sticks, whatever it is that, that suits your fancy. Again, we are not here to, stand in the way of you and your beliefs. So whatever it is that you feel it's necessary in order to give yourself the time to level out. Very, very simple. Okay.
A lot of times going in nature too will help. So if you can step outside even for 10 minutes and just put your feet in the ground and not care how muddy it is, it helps. Just walk around.
Very good. In the garden, on the beach. Okay.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Anywhere where you can connect with the root system of Mother Earth. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So number 5 is is meditation. Meditation should be done daily, as we just discussed, at least 15 to 30 minutes a day to not only start your day, but to also end your day in the proper way. So why do you do that? Again, decompression, leveling out, balancing, clearing and cleansing the chakras, the major arcana, the sub chakras, the nadis, all these things. And just bringing you, keeping yourself in a better flow, especially at nighttime too, because nighttime, it's all about like the wiring down of from through the experiences that you've had throughout the day. And if you don't do that, it's going to affect you physically. It's going to affect your dreams if you have them and you can remember them, or it can also affect your sleeping cycle. I think they
Yes.
call that the circadian rhythm, or the or the circadian rhythm, or something. There's a word for it. I know I mess words up from time to time. The listeners and the viewers know. So number 6, here we go. And people, you gotta put this on repeat, even if you need to record it and keep it handy. Know that people around you may change based on what is priority to them in their own lives. So what does that mean? That means friends, family,
Family,
coworkers, okay, anybody,
clients.
clients, right? Everybody's life can change at any given moment. But by you understanding that, and by you always being aware of this concept, your reaction to how people are going to act around you also changes,
Yes.
because you're not going to get upset, you're not going to get frustrated, you're not going to get pissed off, okay? And you're going to give yourself a chance to step back, reflect on what this individual or individuals are doing, saying, or being like, and you're going to be able to intelligently decipher what level, what vibration you need to be.
They're on.
They are on, right. They are on, and also where you need to be in order to help them through that, situation.
Yep.
Now,
And going into this, I have a little something to add. I had a really good friend of mine who I thought was one of my best friends, all of a sudden just stopped talking to me. And at first I was angry. I was upset. I was like, what did I do? And then I realized it took me like 10 minutes to realize this isn't my problem. This is hers. So when we're able to step back and look at it from an intellectual, mental, and spiritual way, we're able to bring that into ourselves to understand that sometimes it really isn't us, it's them.
what I also love is there was a phrase that someone gave to me way back. And I mean, I didn't really understand it when I was young, but I understand it now. And the phrase was, there's a couple of them actually.
I have one
But,
too now that you bring it up.
well, the only thing that you can control is yourself.
Yes.
Okay. You can't control anybody else. You can't control their decisions. You can, in fact, yes, you can manipulate, or you can shift thought processes, things like that, which is fine. But what I'm saying is that this, you cannot allow people's own personal, energetic, and spiritual lifestyle to affect your own in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Now, if it's positive, that's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying that when people change, good or good, bad, indifferent, you
And
just,
ugly.
yeah, well, you have to see what part of the puzzle are you standing on? Like what part, what role do you play in what's going on with them? And if you do not see a role, just let it go.
Absolutely.
If you have no obligations, religious responsibilities, or what have you, in order to assist that individual or individuals, then let them to their own vices and their own decrees. Okay.
My mom once said to me, and this is probably the best advice the woman ever gave me, was what other people think of you is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. And to remember that it doesn't matter what people think, it's what you choose to do.
Right. And also choose to believe is your own truth.
Exactly.
So number 7 goes hand in hand with number 6. Toxic people should never be allowed in your life unless you are helping them heal from trauma. Okay. And there's a lot of people out here, folks, that you may be one of them, that are there in a toxic relationship, and it's mostly relationships when we think about it. And, this toxicity is usually,
Friendships, family.
yeah, friends, family, partners, husbands, wives, spouses, cousins, aunts, uncles, all these things. And when you think about it, I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they said, "Well, it's my mom. How can I purge my mom?" Well, it's a situation to where it's all about choice, and you have to make sure that you are honoring and you are cherishing your own values, your own standards.
Your boundaries.
Yeah, especially your boundaries, especially your
Uh,
boundaries.
And parents are some of the hardest people to set boundaries with because they don't respect them. They feel that they have the need to um control what we think or do because they're trying to protect us. So even if it's out of um love, it's also toxic to us as people because we're trying to grow and all they're doing is holding us back. So
Exactly.
you have to be able to cut ties with people like that. Um yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's powerful. All right. So number 8 goes hand in hand with the other one. All right. So purging dark matter and negativity whenever you are able to do so in the best ways that you can could lead to lowering stress levels and shoulder weight. Now, if people don't understand what the heck shoulder weight means, okay, usually I kind of like did the short version by saying it in that way. It just means it lowers the feeling like the weight of the world is upon your shoulders. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and relieving some of that weight and excess stress. Now, how do you purge? There's a ton of different ways to purge. I mean, again, it comes to choice and what you decide is best for you. Me personally, purging, I love. Okay, I love soul retrieval. I love
I've
soul.
never done that.
Okay, I love soul retrieval. Soul retrieval to me is the etheric and spiritual cutting of the cords to those individuals that no longer serve me, in this life cycle, as well as those possibly in the past that there was really no resolve, or resolution with those individuals. So purging is definitely important. Absolutely. Cutting cords, soul retrieval. Make sure you guys mark that down. Okay. All right. So number 9. Okay. And this, a lot of people talk about these 3 things, but here's my half truth. Mantras, affirmations, and incantations are only as powerful as your faith and belief in them. Okay. Little
I
bit.
agree with this 100%.
But it needs further explanation. Okay. So mantras are words, sounds, even sentences
Mm-hmm.
that are spoke either in your head or out loud repetitively. Okay, in repetition. Affirmations are similar to that, but it has more of an intention.
The
Okay.
sentence structure.
Yeah, it's in sentence structure, what it is, like what your desire, what your vision, what are you shooting for? Okay, in life, like what is the outcome?
I am.
Okay, yeah, I am is a big one. In Yahweh, it means the same thing. All right.
Yep.
And also I found out that the Egyptians used to
Use
use that as
affirmations.
well. Okay, they
Yep.
used to use that as well. Now it also says in the word and incantations. Now you're probably thinking witchy stuff. Okay, I mean, the first thing that you think about as an incantation, you're like, incantation.
That's a
You're thinking,
spell.
yeah, spells. Okay, spell crafting. But when we look at this, we have to say our words are magic.
They
Okay.
are.
Okay. That's the reason why they call them spelling,
Yes.
okay, is because the words, just like any witch, any sorcerer, any druid, any pagan, any Viking, that deals with the Norse gods, Greco-Roman stuff as well,
Theater.
all of them, usually incantations, in means calling into, okay,
Yep.
incanto, like,
Yep.
like the movie, which was a really good movie, by the way. Who, I think it was Pixar or Disney actually made it, a really really good movie, and shout out to you guys. But what we mean by is as powerful as your faith and belief in them. I have had time and time again to where I've said something out loud so many times, and then
And
all
then you call it back.
and then all of a sudden my brain's like, dude, are you serious? Okay, you're really thinking that this is how it's going to be? Okay, and again, second guessing. So by second guessing whatever you're saying, you're creating the opposite outcome.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to believe it as if you believe in a higher power, is as you believe that you're breathing. Okay, that you believe that you are your kind of person, or this kind of person, or that.
I don't know how many times I've said I wish, whatever the case is, and had to literally stop myself mid-sentence because it was completely negative. And over time, it's gotten easier. But the more you practice positive affirmations, positive incantations, the more good you're going to attract to yourself.
Agreed, totally. So we got number 10. Excuse me a second.
Yeah, that goes into that.
I know, really. Yeah, you can't cut that out, can you?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, number 10 is you have the power to create any kind of life you want, but you must understand who you really are first. So why do you, okay, why is that true? Why do we have to do that? That's a good question. You think you can answer that, Hazel? Why do we have to
Yeah,
know who we are?
because if we don't know who we are, and we're creating a life that we think we want, we're actually causing the exact opposite. So you have to know who you are, what you stand for. You have to know what you believe in order to create the life that you are meant to live. So that goes back to the meditations, the affirmations, and everything that was said earlier. These are all things that come together to give you the power to create your own personal situation that is going to work best for you so you can live your best life.
Agreed. Now, what I want to add to that is archetypes,
Yes.
personality archetypes. Okay, you need to know what your archetypes are. What is the mindset that you wish to have and to create every day? Every day. And you need to work towards that. And in order to do that, you must go, you can look it up online. Google has a boatload of what's the word? A search criteria that you can look through. And I'm telling you, you can look through the 12 archetypes, you can look through the 48 archetypes, whichever it is that you want to see. What you have to do is really dig deep and learn, or at least find out, or even admit to yourself who you really are, and see whether you, being you right now, is the you that you really want
Or need to be at this moment.
or need to be. Right. Archetypes are massively important. Okay, so the very last one, always save the best for last. So number 11, life is too short to concentrate on situations, circumstances, drama, or people that make it hard to grow or love yourself. Remove those things whenever you can. So if you got that nasty sister, or you got that a-hole brother, or you got that narcissistic mom or dad, okay, which I've experienced most of those.
Nope.
Okay.
Luckily, I don't have brothers and sisters, though. I don't think they would have made it this far.
I mean, knowing that they're toxic, if they're draining you constantly, if they're constantly complaining about their lives, in which you already know that there are very, very super simple solutions, and you've offered these individuals many, many times, your advice or suggestions, and they just don't take it, that's also toxic. Okay, as long
Or
as
when they consistently cycle, like that's something that I can't get. And this goes like into the friends thing. When people are cycling and focusing on the same thing, that starts to drain you and bring you down. And it gets to be annoying when you start noticing it.
well, it gets energetically tiresome
Yes.
when you focus too much on other people's bullshit. What happens is you don't even give yourself a chance to work on your own stuff, the things that you need to do in order for you to become and continue to be the best version of yourself.
Right.
Okay, so that's the 11 virtues, folks. Now I'll tell you what, though, I made those how long ago? April 3rd, 2 days after April Fool's Day. And I'm telling you, that is some of the best advice or virtues I could possibly come up with. Means a lot. So,
Honor yourself.
well, honor yourself. See, we got some crazy stuff going on in this world, and not just in our own country. I mean, we got this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten worse and worse. We've gotten like 3 other variants, which I'm not going to get into this too much, but our commander in chief, I say that loosely. Commander in chief is, I don't know what he's doing or what he's thinking, but the last thing I would like to have as a very energetically and a psychically gifted individual
Mm-hmm.
is another world war. Okay, I don't want that. We do not need that, and we need to grow from this putrid mind plague that's going on right now in humanity. And I'm not talking about like just like COVID-19 or anything, or any of the variants. I'm talking about the mindset of like survival mode. It's gotten to the extreme at this point. I mean, I just saw the other day on TikTok, I saw somebody filling up, and this was a diesel truck driver, mind you. Okay, he literally filled his tank of, obviously the most trucks like that have 2 tanks, but it costed him $1,058 to fill his tank at $5.19 a gallon.
Yep.
Okay,
Up here where I'm at, it's $4.95 a gallon,
well,
and it costs $200
and
just
when
to fill our tank.
and when we really, and I gotta ask the higher ups. And when I talk about the higher ups, I mean the higher ups in government, the higher ups, in our religious beliefs, or even our higher selves for that fact. Okay, anything that's higher than ourselves. But what we have to ask is, when is enough enough? When
Yep.
is enough enough? When are we going to finally? I know there's a lot of us out there that are focusing on good, spreading love, attempting to help as much as we can, for as long as we can. But when we take into consideration that we are a collective, we have to remind ourselves that each little thing, and I know it sounds like micromanagement, I get it, but each little thing that we do, each words that we speak, each action and reaction that we choose to do has a ripple effect.
On everything and everyone.
Right, exactly. And what's crazy about that is that not a whole lot of people are paying attention to that anymore. So, for an example, where's the chivalry, guys? I'm talking about some of the men out there too. Okay, where's the chivalry? I've seen guys open up the door and literally somebody would be on their phone, which it probably shouldn't be, but a woman would be walking up to the door while the guy had, had it open and it's closed. Boom, she hits right into the door. And that was
Yep.
because somebody wasn't courteous enough to just hold the door, man. I mean, just hold the door. It only takes a couple of seconds. It's not going to harm anybody. It's not going to hurt anybody. And the simple fact is where is this persona? Where is this personality where everybody's like, I'm going to get mine? No matter what that means, no matter how many people I trample over, no matter how many people I use, no matter how many bridges I burn, I'm going to get mine. What happened?
We have created, well, not us, but the generations before us have created, and it continues to create a very selfish mindset. Everybody is about themselves anymore. It's about survival. You can't survive if you don't have a community of people backing you up. And a lot of people don't understand this, but if you see somebody who is struggling for food, living in a homeless shelter, a family that can't afford to go out and buy food because gas prices are so high and the parents have to go to work to make money to bring home the food, what is going to happen when our entire economy collapses? Are we going to fight each other, or are we going to help each other?
Well, good, very, very good question. Yeah, that's been brought up to me quite a few times in my own mind because
We shouldn't have to sit here struggling the way we are. And especially in our line of business, as a psychic, as a priestess, as a tarot reader, as a life coach, our jobs are not easy. And here we are helping all these people, but the question is, what are you doing for your community? What are you doing for the children and the animals around you that need the help?
right, right.
How are you giving back?
I mean, honestly, I've seen people. I mean, I'll just talk about my own location, which I'm not going to speak about location, because for
Right, same here.
safety reasons and stuff like that. But I even noticed that some of the kids. I mean, not to get too much into this, but I noticed some of the kids are like afraid of dogs and cats. Like what's been put in their mind to have so much fear or so much anger for that fact. I mean,
Yes.
when I was a kid, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I had it easy, but
Animals were the easiest thing for me to go to.
yeah, I mean,
And to this day, it's still the same.
I had cats almost all my life for sure,
Mhm.
and I was around a couple of dogs, which is all right. I mean, I love all animals equally, within reason. But
As long as they don't stomp on your head.
yeah, and when you see like just the look in the children's faces, when it's you can see this building of the program of being afraid to reach out to other people for help, to be afraid to ask for something that they really want,
Yep.
even in the midst of the fear of rejection, which rejection is fine. Okay, as long
You learn from it.
yeah, a lot of us, that's what happens. I mean, we get rejected. I mean, you go to a job, you apply for a job, and the job says no. Okay, rejection. Okay, but you got to deal with it. You got to brush yourself off and just keep marching. So, and life skills, guys. We got to get into the habit of teaching these children life skills. Seriously.
Yes. Absolutely.
Early. Okay, we're talking about 12, 11, 11, 12,
You're talking younger than that.
even
I
younger.
mean, 6 and 7 years old, my kids were learning how to do their own laundry. When my kids were 3 and 4, they were making their beds. It starts at a young age, so they understand that this is how a home is supposed to be.
Well, and it also gives you a sense of contribution. It gives you a sense of oneness. It gives you a sense of accomplishment.
Absolutely. It gives you something to be proud of.
I mean, every day, I used to never do this when I was a kid. Every day, since I could remember at this point, I make my bed. As soon as I get up, okay, and I get out of bed, the first task of the day, make your bed. It's that
Make
simple.
your bed and make your coffee.
Okay. I don't do coffee, but okay. No, all those coffee drinkers, I'm not knocking you. All right, but I'm just saying that, I just, yeah, long story about that. But all in all, teach. I love how Denzel Washington said it best. Those who become successful and live their passions, live their purpose.
Yes.
Each one teach one. When you become successful and you're up at the high top of the mountain, look back and bring at least one person up. That's what it means by each one teach one.
I like that.
Okay, share in the success. Share in the beauty of knowing how you got there and be able to assist someone else in doing the same.
Yep.
Wow. So I guess at this point, we can, in conclusion, we could say, where do you stand? Do you stand as continuing to be a part of the problem? Or are you going to choose to be courageous, to be noble, to have virtue and integrity, and become part of the solution? I'd like to hear your thoughts, guys. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It's down there somewhere. Also, if you guys need any help or you want subjects that you wish for us to discuss in length, or just, whoever I have on, that'd be fine too. Make sure that you smash the hell out of that like button. And if you really enjoy what you heard today, share the hell out of it. But as we part ways, we say, be humble, be blessed, live in the vibration of love, and take care of each other. Okay. Namaste, guys. Until next time, this is Reverend Raven Nightclaw and Hazel Redwood in the Raven's Den. See you guys. Be blessed. Take care.
A high frequency channel where source and spirit meet in tandem, where forces between the mind, body, and spirit meet in friendship, while building a unity of energy and creation, fluidity in consciousness, where we let our spirits speak.